transformation after America that no one was ready for the silence was shattered the moment Jungkook stepped onto Korean soil. Cameras clicked, fans screamed, and within seconds, images of his dramatically transformed physique flooded social media feeds across the globe. But this was no ordinary comeback. What fans saw went far beyond a casual update. This was a radical evolution. Jungkook didn't just return from America with new energy. He returned with a body that stunned the public and ignited a firestorm of speculation. What exactly happened in America? And how did the global icon transform into this intimidating figure that fans now claim looks unrecognizable? The core of the uproar wasn't just his new tattoos or the piercing gaze that now felt far colder than before. It was his body, sharper, stronger, and more defined than ever. His abs, once only occasionally revealed on stage, now screamed with definition, clearly the result of months of intense training. This wasn't just about aesthetics. Fans began to whisper. Was this physical transformation a reflection of something deeper? Was Jungkook silently communicating a message the industry had long suppressed? It was hard to ignore the timing. Jungkook had spent several weeks in America, reportedly for both business and personal reasons. Yet, throughout that period, he remained unusually silent. No live streams, no major appearances, no social interactions. Now, it all makes sense. The time away had been meticulously utilized. But why? Was this a preparation for a solo takeover? Or was it a reaction, perhaps even retaliation, to something that happened behind closed doors? His body now exudes a kind of discipline and control that feels almost confrontational. Experts in entertainment psychology have often noted that idols, when facing significant emotional strain or seeking autonomy, turn to physical transformation as a way to reclaim agency over their lives. In Jungkook's case, the sudden emergence of a six-pack, combined with newer, bolder tattoos, seems to follow that exact pattern. Could this be his quiet rebellion, more than just visual shock? Fans noticed a shift in aura. Jungkook's latest appearance wasn't filled with his usual boyish charm or playful gestures. He walked past cameras like a force, shoulders squared, expression unyielding. The reaction was instant. Trending topics exploded within minutes. Fans posted side-by-side comparisons, analyzing every detail of his arms, chest, jawline, and posture. Thousands of comments poured in. Some were admiring, others were concerned, and many were confused. How did this change happen so fast? Reports from behind the scenes started surfacing, though none have been officially confirmed. Some insiders whispered of intense private gym sessions in California, where Jungkook was spotted entering high-performance fitness facilities late at night. Others claim he met with top physical trainers, military-style coaches, and even mental discipline experts. Whatever the method, the result is undeniable. Jungkook has become the very embodiment of physical intensity. But what does this intensity mean? This question is far more important than it seems. For an idol with immense global pressure on his shoulders, a drastic transformation is rarely just cosmetic. It often signals inner conflict or a strategic shift. Could Jungkook be preparing to sever ties with old narratives? Is he pushing back against the infantilized image often imposed upon idols by the K-pop industry? If so, this transformation may be a coded protest, one that speaks louder than any press conference ever could. And then there's the reaction from the fandom itself. ARMY has always prided itself on supporting Jungkook through every phase, but this time, many were left speechless. Some questioned whether this evolution might mark a darker chapter, one where Jungkook distances himself from his roots, his group, and perhaps even his fans. Others expressed pride, calling it his warrior era. But the truth remains elusive. Even more intriguing is what this change could mean for his musical direction. Analysts speculate that this physical image might align with an upcoming solo project that's far more aggressive, darker, and genre-defying than anything he's done before. Could we be witnessing the early warning signs of a complete artistic reinvention? Meanwhile, comparisons began to surface between Jungkook's new form and those of Western pop icons who've similarly undergone radical transformations to escape the confines of public expectation. Some argue he's following in the footsteps of stars who refuse to remain frozen in their teenage image. Jungkook's case feels more urgent, more abrupt, and far more emotionally charged. Why now? What triggered this shift? One theory gaining traction is that the transformation is not just physical, but symbolic. Fans have long speculated that Jungkook has been under immense pressure, both from management expectations and public scrutiny. Could the six-pack, the tattoos, the piercing stare all be parts of an armor? A shield against forces we can't yet see? Still, there's a sense of unease. Why does this transformation feel less like a natural progression and more like a warning? Has something happened in America that we're not supposed to know about? There's no confirmation, no denial, just silence. And Jungkook's silence has always spoken volumes. What's more, his fellow members have remained noticeably quiet. No public comments, no shared posts, no reactions. This absence of acknowledgement has only added to the mystery. Is this transformation creating distance? Or is it the result of distance that has already existed for longer than fans realized? As the days go by, the images of Jungkook's new body continue to dominate headlines. But for many, this is no longer just about visuals. It's about decoding what's happening beneath the surface. Fans are beginning to ask uncomfortable questions. Has Jungkook been trying to send us a message all along? Did we ignore the signs? And if so, what comes next? The entertainment industry, known for demanding conformity, may not be ready for the version of Jungkook that's emerging. This isn't a rebranding. This feels like a breaking of chains, a detachment, a silent war, one that's waged not with words, but with muscle, ink, and silence. For now, the world waits and watches. The excitement is undeniable, but so is the fear. What is Jungkook preparing for? Why does his body now look like a fortress? And will we ever truly understand what happened during his time in America? Because if this transformation is only the beginning, what's coming next might not just change Jungkook's career. It might rewrite the rules of K-pop itself. The reaction was swift, overwhelming, and polarizing. Within hours after Jungkook's shocking return from America, global media outlets, social platforms, and fan communities were locked in intense debate. What had initially appeared to be a simple update on a public figure's physical appearance had now snowballed into something far more layered, controversial, and psychologically charged. The world saw abs, tattoos, and a colder gaze, but what they felt was disruption. And yet, in the midst of all this noise, a crucial question continues to linger. Are we witnessing a real transformation? Or are we being manipulated by the very machinery that thrives on public fascination? Jungkook's striking new physique, particularly the exaggerated six-pack, vascular forearms, and hardened posture, has undeniably sparked emotional responses. But is it possible that this was carefully orchestrated to serve a deeper narrative? Is this truly the result of months of private introspection and physical discipline? Or is it a calculated projection designed to reframe public perception of him at a strategic moment? Who benefits from this chaos? And more importantly, who controls it? In today's digital landscape, where content is consumed at unprecedented speed and rumors outpace facts, the line between authenticity and performance has never been thinner. When fans on TikTok began dissecting his body angles and tattoos frame by frame, were they engaging with truth? Or were they falling into a trap set by an industry that knows precisely how to exploit curiosity? Was Jungkook's transformation documented in secret because it was genuine, or because it needed to appear genuine to create the illusion of rebellion? And what role do media platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok play in sustaining this illusion? Short-form content has amplified every possible angle of this event, from speculative vlogs to fan-made analyses that boldly claim to expose the truth. But whose truth are they exposing? These digital spaces have become echo chambers where fact, fiction, and fantasy are indistinguishably fused. When thousands of viewers engage with a viral tweet declaring, "Jungkook is not who we thought he was," are they chasing answers? Or are they feeding an algorithm designed to keep them outraged and addicted? We must now ask ourselves, is it possible that the transformation was never meant to reflect Jungkook's inner growth, but instead engineered groups are forming judgments based on visual data without verifiable context. Is it responsible to draw conclusions based on surface-level observation? Or are we merely participating in a cultural phenomenon where speculation replaces verification? This leads to an even more troubling consideration. To what extent are fans and audiences complicit in this cycle? In our rush to consume, interpret, and react, are we enabling a system that prioritizes sensationalism over well-being? When a single shirtless image can generate millions of views, thousands of comments, and days of trending hashtags, it becomes clear that attention has a currency, and that currency is ruthlessly exploited. Are we witnessing Jungkook's personal evolution, or are we witnessing the monetization of his body and silence? Moreover, the silence from fellow BTS members and HYB itself should not be overlooked. It may be tempting to interpret their non-response as support or neutrality, but is it also possible that they've been instructed to remain silent? Is their lack of commentary a protective measure, or does it reveal internal fractures within the group's dynamic? Could this be the beginning of a narrative split, one that pits individual autonomy against group loyalty? These are not questions with simple answers, and yet they must be asked. The absence of concrete statements, official clarifications, or structured context leaves the field open for unverified information to thrive. While media coverage may appear extensive, its foundations are precariously rooted in speculation, anonymous tips, and user-generated content. Can any serious conclusions be drawn from such a fragile base? This is why the need for skepticism has never been more urgent. Every video clip, every blurry paparazzi photo, every emotionally charged fan thread must be interrogated. Where did it originate? Who benefits from its circulation? Is it serving to enlighten us, or merely to inflame us? Critical thinking, not passive consumption, must be the lens through which we view this phenomenon. To all readers and fans alike, we pose this critical inquiry. Do you genuinely believe Jungkook's transformation is a personal awakening, an honest reflection of internal struggle and growth? Or do you suspect that this image has been sculpted, not for expression, but for strategic disruption? More provocatively, what if both are true? What if Jungkook is changing, but that change has been weaponized by forces beyond his control? What if his silence isn't peace, but suppression? We urge you to reflect, not to react blindly, not to repost impulsively, but to question deeply and consistently. Is this event a mirror of Jungkook's truth, or a manufactured performance that conceals more than it reveals?